start the recording when we start the meeting. Now, this is recording, so.
Okay.
I think you can hit the pause button up on top or the stop button,
Oh, there you
right
go.
next to it.
Liberty and justice for all. It just.
Jack, you got a new background. I like
Is that your
background.
Is that your backyard, Jackie?
Yes, doesn't it look lovely?
Yeah, you got more snow than we do at the town hall.
Can you
Yep.
put a halo over yourself with wings? How good are you with graphics?
Nothing is confusing.
Oh, just a little bit.
Okay, the first item is the regular board meeting minutes of December 18th. Any corrections? Okay. Second, any corrections or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Okay.
So pass. If you need it. Review board appointment. Jackie, do you mind giving us the names and their terms and what have you for the review board appointments, or don't you have them in front of you?
Hang on, I'm getting them. Oh, wait a minute, let me scroll down.
If not, we've got them here.
Yeah, we do have it here.
If it's easier for you, Anita, go ahead.
Okay,
Okay, so there's actually two review board appointments. They have everything in one. It looks like Michael Ballard and Bob Lissano are the review board appointments for a 5-year term that would expire end of 2028.
commitment. Any,
Is there one vacancy or two? Is that, was it that they interviewed both of them?
There's one vacancy that the seat's been empty for about a year. And then Peter Alfieris has declined to run again.
So Michael Ballard is the preferred candidate that they are recommending.
so there are two or one?
There, just one that we are voting on. There were two applicants and we're voting on one.
Okay, so they want us to pick one.
Well,
Or what they're recommending, okay, is,
is Michael Ballard.
okay.
I thought they were also recommending Bob.
Yeah.
That's not how it's written here.
Okay,
No,
I thought
there was two.
maybe Dave can help us.
Is this time sensitive or can we go back and?
They wanted it done today. That's why we sent this out last week already.
Dave, are you with us?
Oh, no, that's, no. Review board for a 5-year term. I mean, why would they say which is the preferred candidate if we're nominating both of them?
One has just moved into town.
Well, was one of them filling a vacancy? You said it's been empty for a year, and then one is filling a vacancy for person stepping down?
Right.
I thought that was the case.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one for review board. I'm reading Darcy's email.
It's just one.
That's what I thought.
Review board.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It said we're losing, they're each losing a member.
Right.
Okay, so the recommendation for the review board is,
Michael Ballard.
okay. Any questions or comments?
Did they send you information on it?
They sent all of us information on him.
That's fine.
So is he a town resident or a village resident?
He's in town.
So is he filling his vacancy? So does that?
We still
leave
have the number
balance?
of bill.
Okay.
Yeah, Jackie asked about that. They meet the minimum requirements for the balance.
And I think it also, from Jackie, don't leave words in your mouth, but it came down to getting someone that would be willing to do this, but they still did make the balance.
Yeah, I mean, I have Mike's introductory paragraph here, if anybody wants to take a look at it.
Okay, do I have a motion to appoint Mike?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, welcome, Mike. Thank you very much for your service. Okay, then item C is zoning board of appeals appointment.
Oh, that was the other one.
So Walter Goldschmidt is stepping down. And after two candidates, they're recommending Adam one.
That's right, for a 2-year term expiring end of 2025.
Plus. Anybody have any questions there or make a motion?
So he was the other one.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay,
Second,
all in favor?
aye. And then, is there a second part of that where Gary Kaltenbach wishes to continue with the zoning board?
Yes.
We probably have to vote on him as well.
Yeah, so Bob DeMarco wishes to renew his tenure on short-term rental appeals, but I think that's the next one on our.
Yeah, I think the E is probably Gary Kaltenbach,
Yeah,
right?
so, yeah.
Reappointment. Okay,
And that'll be for 5 years, ending at 2028.
as long as we've got that, let's go to E then. Have a motion to
I'll make a motion, we approve Gary.
Gary.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. And then jump back to D, which is short-term rental appeals board reappointment.
And that's Bob DeMarco.
5 years ago.
I'll make, no.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you go.
I'll make the motion to approve him.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Very good. That was easy. Anything else?
A couple other things, so we received the DOT municipal snow and ice agreement supplemental agreement for 23-24. This is different from the agreement we agreed to at the last meeting, which was to do emergency work. This is the standard for cleaning snow and ice. So you all,
Do I have a motion?
I made the motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
okay.
Anything else?
There's the winter legislative meeting coming up for NICOM. So this is, I mean, I guess we could approve at your pleasure for all the board members and the mayor to attend as they wish. And I also have the dates, and I know you were asking about cancellation dates, Jackie, in case you have to cancel. Basically, they want registrations by January 12th, or the fee will increase by $15, which is actually just a small amount of what the overall fee is. The deadline for making any reservations is January 25th, and that is also the deadline for when you can cancel.
And what about cancellation of a motel room? Same thing?
I think it's the same thing, yeah.
That's in Albany.
That is in Albany, February 4th through 6th. You don't have to go the full time. There's a couple different options. If you want, we can talk about it, but I guess first, do you all wanna make a motion to?
So we need a motion
I'll
to.
make the motion that whoever would like to go, it's more involved.
Either the board or the mayor, yeah. Okay, second,
I'll second.
second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
Okay, so I'll touch base with all of you tomorrow to see who is going and who isn't. I know
Go
that
ahead.
Art's,
Yeah.
yes, I know Art's going, and Jackie, I know you were gonna.
Yeah.
Let us know. And finally, and I don't think this has to be approved, this is just informational. We were sending around the dates for that joint village town public hearing on land use code. It looks like the date that works happens to be our next board meeting date, which is Tuesday, January 16th, and it would be at 5. So we would push back our board meeting. The question is how much do we want to push it back?
Well, if we, Janet, you can help us, but if we do put the board meeting for 5:15 and we are that quick, we can go into it, but if not, we finish up the other meeting, just start the other later. Is that a problem?
You'd have to. Yes,
It is a
it's
problem.
not a problem.
Okay. So at least, I mean, the odds are that it'll be quick, but if it isn't, we're all there. And we can at least tell people we're getting to it.
Okay, so Tim sent me the notice. I will put in the papers on the website and I'll move our meeting to 5:15 that day. Tim did not anticipate many people coming out unless it was over, I guess there's one of the points involves marijuana in the town, so he didn't know if people would come out to have a comment.
And sorry, that date again was?
Tuesday, January 16th,
5 for the first.
5 for the public hearing and then our meeting to follow at 5:15.
downstairs.
Downstairs, yes.
No,
Who's the
no,
board?
isn't the town having a meeting that night?
Well, it's a joint, no, because they only have one meeting, okay? Yeah, this is the only one that conflicts for
Of
us.
course, we'll welcome them to sit through our meeting if they want, out clear the room out there.
And I think that is it.
Okay, so we need to please agree to it, or do you need a motion, or,
We need a motion. We're just setting the public hearing date.
very good, anything else?
Nope, that is all.
I had a quick question about the attachments. Involved, Have those gone out already? I think this was about the letter of intent around purchasing equipment.
I need to ask Kimball that, because he was gonna, like, he knew that it was approved, so I believe it.
They already-
We did go out.
Okay.
Very well, I'll check out them already,
Okay,
Goes from the, yes, it's a truck.
Yeah. just so we can get in line.
Save the
Well,
date.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
It's like a wedding, that's not gonna happen.
Well, we're in the same boat with dump trucks too. They're leased, we ordered two because they're 2 years out, and then the plow equipment is another year after that, so. 3 years on plow trucks.
Vacuum, fire trucks.
Yeah, fire truck, we were supposed to have last December, so we're a year over right now on the fire truck.
Give it a little.
This is interesting, can I read it all?
Yeah.
Treasury items, warrant affidavit number 11. Thank you, Jackie, for looking the
They
way.
have that one, like worn out David.
tricky.
Sometimes that's how it feels, I'm sure. Motion to accept the warrants,
I'll make the motion to accept the warrants.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Anything else to come from treasurer?
Just an update on the sewer plant project, we got, final funding that we had put out request for. So as it stands right now, the project looks like it's gonna come in between 11.2 and 11.5 million, depending on where values go. But we received $6.4 million in WQIP grant. We received $3,082,000 in federal bill money. We just received notification that we got 1.512 in WIA funding, and we also qualified for the clean water hardship financing for an additional 3.082 million. Which will actually exceed the total cost of the project.
I have my math on that one.
So I might have done a happy dance in my office.
I
when
might
WIA
have heard that
funding-
before.
Yeah, the funding came in, because I was very excited about it, but, the next meeting, I'll have the RFP out for you guys to approve for engineering services on the WQIP portion of the grant.
Great, thank you very much. That doesn't just happen.
No, and I
A lot of
thank
hard
Kathy
work.
Swago's team for helping with all of it.
So when you say we actually have more funding than we have at this time project, it all of course depend on, we'll put it out for bid, how much it is. And then if there are cost overages, can you apply it towards that or not?
Yeah, so the hardship financing will come into play if that happens.
Great.
But as of right now, grant funding should cover all.
Great, great job. How long does that happy dance continue? You still doing it or?
Oh, I did a happy dance. People kept walking in my office. They were like, what is going on here? It's like, you have no idea how happy.
Good job. Anything under new business? Anything more?
No.
It's enough, right? Anything under new business?
No, I think just to reiterate, I mean, there's a lot of municipalities that are struggling with costs around updates to physical plant services.
Well, and we're hoping that we can get this out to bid and started before prices increase again.
I was listening to Tampa Bay today. And they want to be the first one in the United States to do this water filtration, whatever, it's 200 million. Just so, it's a special thing to get all the stuff out, and it's 200 million, so we're all right.
Yeah. Them. Anything under old business?
The only thing I have is just we need to now at this point, some point, relook at the noise, because we had talked about it and Katie and I then talked about it. If all restaurants start blaring
Oh, I
music,
couldn't agree more.
so we need to just
Refocus.
refocus.
I do have it on a piece of paper and I'm ready to bring that up again.
Yep, so I just wanted to bring that back up, and my other one isn't an old business. if we move the police department to the beach house,
You mean
when can we move, I know that section will be there, we should look at moving the court, part of the courts down there, because then they can be secure.
Don't believe we have room there.
I don't think we can because it's the town and the village court, both in one courtroom.
Well, I'm not talking about the courtroom, I'm saying their offices, so they could be.
No, I don't think you can do that.
No.
There's security and as you know, you have the Office of Court Administration
Right,
requirements.
but it's just something, this.
Talk to Chuck.
I'll check with that, but.
Well, the town might have another use for that space, because we won't be the tenant.
Right, and it's just that they might want, so they're the ones that would bring it up, but it's now that they don't have the police in the building. You know, it gives
They may
them,
want security.
yeah,
Well, I think the last conversation I had with Chuck, at least, that there would be an officer posted
During the court.
during court.
right,
But I think he's talking about the two that
I'm not talking
were
about.
there
Oh,
day in, day out.
Day in, because we have people coming in and out all the time and you people even with.
Might be time for a secure door.
It's a public place.
Right, but now they have the Mr. Ed door, I'm sure they could do something.
A little more secure, yeah.
well, they put in panic buttons as well, I know that.
That was just something I wanted to bring up.
Okay. Anything else in the old business?
I have two things.
Okay,
One is the following up on Governor Hochul's new provision, which is an amendment to the open meetings law, and this would require a public hearing also, so if the board is going to proceed with the passage of that proposed local law, we have to set a date for that public hearing.
do you recommend we do it as a local law, not just a referendum?
Yes,
Okay. Reason being,
resolution, not a big, I think it
makes it
has
more,
a little more teeth. It may sunset in July of 2024, but probably won't, it'll extend. We can put in the local law that you can change the procedures by resolution, but then it'll be on the books. I'll have to draft it, so I would think that the earliest this would be more like the first meeting in February.
Okay.
If that's, but I think it's something that we should move forward with. So we could do it perhaps the first meeting in February, once again, before the regular meeting.
Makes sense.
So I'll, if that's okay with everybody, I'll draft it and even get it to you so you can publish the list. The second is, as you know, we're in the process of working out with OSI and the DEC, taking over that lower or western end of the town, the North Elbow Lake Placid Historic Society parking area. Currently, it's not being used, but I understand that Brad has been dealing with the new officers there in the Historical Society, and that they're agreeable to the village taking over that area under a license agreement similar to the license agreement that we had previously for the Lake Placid Express. So it would allow that area to be used for parking. It would also block off that area where people are parking now, which is sort of at that triangle between the parking area that doesn't exist, Trillium and Station Street, where people are parking for access to the rail trail, which isn't necessarily the safest situation at this point. So it will allow that area to be opened up. You've probably seen where the highway department has put in the blacktop to access into that area, but it's currently blocked off. The idea is that would be either ingress or egress, and then Further down the street, you've probably seen another area where there's the sort of, I call it the ramp, the blacktop that would allow access up and over the sidewalk, but the trees have not been cut out in that area. They would be cut out, there would be signage so that there'd be one way in, one way out. And it would just be a license to use that area that eventually will become ours anyway.
As long as we meet all the requirements, DEC, or as long as OSI meets all the requirements.
Right, so, you know, it's not so important right now because we don't have snowmobiles going up and down, but I did prepare a proposed license agreement. I think you've seen it, Mayor Jackie's seen it, Brad has seen it. It has not been presented to the Historical Society yet, pending your thoughts.
Oh, also that will be used for people who want to use the trail for biking or hiking. Even
Absolutely,
this time of year,
so
that's-
that end where, what I just called the Bermuda Triangle would be actually blocked off.
But it has to add them as an insured, correct?
Correct. So we've done that in the past. If it's the board's wish to proceed with that, then I would send this over to the Historical Society and see for their review.
I am all for it, so I don't have to be driving down and have someone pack in, so.
I'm on board here too.
Yeah.
Kind of proper parking area there would be really good.
Yep. Okay, so we'd be responsible for following it. It wouldn't be ours yet. It would just, as I said, be a license agreement to allow the use.
Good, thank you.
All right, that's enough for me.
One quick question on that also with Homestead. I understand right now they're waiting on the town to accept plowing. And that's part of what's holding up the homeowners association.
That's part of it, yes.
And I guess we have 10 feet. I'm guessing you're more aware of that than I am and you're on that. Okay, but I really do think Steve needs to keep his momentum up.
The documents have been the information's been forwarded to the town attorney. And documents have been prepared for the village, but we can't do anything until the town does their part, because they're the majority. We own a very, very small portion that be village.
10 feet, right?
Not that.
Nothing this time under mayor items. Any trustee reports? Mark, you said the fun zone went well.
Fun zone went well, it was very, very busy for restaurants and retail because there was nothing else to do. It's been enough snow, so everybody was on Main Street.
I heard the arcade.
Yeah, I'm sure, I know the bowling alley was jamming, and it was just very, very busy, good end of the year for everybody.
We were just beat it and they were completely full.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did some shopping in your store too.
And how about the holiday stroll? What word have you got?
There was good feedback on that, and everybody wants to keep it around, and you know, there was a couple of hiccups, but that's what you get, a bunch of volunteers trying to get it done.
Yeah.
So.
Part of the fun.
Yeah.
Good. Okay,
I think the other trustee report is just, I mean, and you're picking up on your point, for the holidays, Darcy, Jackie, Chuck and I got together to have kind of an initial conversation about noise ordinance and just looking at what we had on the books currently, and then, you know, what other options are kind of out there with other municipalities. And then, I think, you know, we had a conversation about some, you know, potential areas to look at in terms of beefing up our own policies or, you know, kind of drawing in things that work from other places.
Good.
And I think the plan is to kind of reconvene sometime in January and kind
good.
of take
Thank
that
you
forward.
for keeping things going. I mean, none of us would want to be sitting here now with a person with a stereo out there blasting at 7 or 8 on the scale. We wouldn't be able to hear yourselves talk or think. And that is what happens.
Or fireworks at midnight, right, Jackie?
We heard you.
Oh, did they bother you, Andrew? I'm sorry.
Hardly, that time I'll just come down to your house, we're in Hardly.
It was a private party, Andrew.
Who had them, do we know?
Huh?
Do we know who?
I have no idea where they were coming
Invited
from.
either.
All right, well, that should be into part of our laws too, we're looking at it.
It is.
There is. Fireworks,
Enforceable.
yeah, that's the part of the noise ordinance, but the town also has a specific law that says you cannot have any fireworks without getting a permit from them. And I think that's kind of what ours say.
Mhm.
You know, we can't have fireworks without, going through the permit.
I think our permit says the only people who can have fireworks is Orta. Everything else is prohibited.
Well, I think it doesn't say roost, or is
Nope,
there
just says Orta
fireworks for the general public?
but it doesn't, only Orta is the one that can host fireworks.
And that's because their state, our laws don't apply to them, is that correct?
No.
Isn't it more or less or not? I mean, most.
No, they always get a permit when they have,
Okay, but our zoning doesn't apply to that.
but roost puts on the, for example, the Fourth of July fireworks.
So they'd have to apply to us for.
And Orta has always applied to us,
They
when they
notify-
did them for the ski jumps.
That way.
But that was the town. It depends upon where they shoot them off. So the village, I think Roost, you're right, Roost does 4th of July. But I think those are the only two entities in the village that are allowed to ask for a permit for fireworks. The private fireworks are prohibited.
Very good.
So, I mean, I'm assuming, I mean, Andrew, I have no idea where they were. Could you even tell?
No, I just know that Harvey at 12:01 was jumping, not happening.
And honestly, since, I don't know how Ashley feels, but I know that Mike Pratt, did not want fireworks just because of the noise pollution. They cut back quite a bit on their fireworks.
I had fireworks at my house, not put on by me, by somebody on Christmas.
Lovely.
We had Christmas
Are they
fireworks.
green and red?
I didn't get them to look.
Signaling Santa.
Any questions?
No.
Too easy, huh? Next time.
Next time.
Nobody online, anybody?
I need a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
For your coffee, have a pretty day. I can get this storm that's not coming this weekend.